voice is clear.
Yeah.
You can go ahead.
Thank you. Let me firstly thank you for opportunity to join this event, and thank you for Mr. Abdullah. He joined me. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Muhammad Saad. I am senior cloud consultant at Microsoft. I am 14 years experience in an IT career and digital transformation cloud solutions. And today we're gonna discuss designing and disaster recovery strategy from Azure perspective, and also we'll cover try to high availability. Actually today it's not like a demo and we'll go step by step for a demo. It's just we need to just focus with how to, if you are engaged with a project related to Azure resilience, you have to mitigate this one with your team and participate with the customer and to build the better for this one. You can reach me also at LinkedIn for my page here, and also in my YouTube channel. I have a lot of videos related to Azure. It's called Platform Channel. So let me jump on the first. Just please. So let me talk about what is resilience. If you talk about resilience, it's public statement related to cover high availability and disaster recovery and backup. So if you comprehensive set of native business continuity solution and provide availability and disaster recovery and backup to protect your mission critical application and data. So in here's topic, we have to talk about three things for high availability and disaster recovery and backup as well. So what is a high availability? Availability is to maintain acceptable continuous performant temporary failures in service hardware, data centers, or in your data center, even in premise, even in Azure data centers. So how to have availability your applications or VMs through that. For disaster recovery, how to protect against for loss in entire data religion through synchronizations of data using, if you talk about here about Azure site recovery, and also using GRS. So when we will talk about GRS and LRS and ZoneRS. And also for a backup, we have to also think about backup replications for virtual machines and data, and for more regions using Azure backup. So if you engage with a project with customer and it's not matter for how to implement disaster recovery, because if you talk about disaster recovery implementation, it's you can find it step by step, but the first stage, it's very important to discuss with customer why should we care about design better, what it is for you before before you explain the customer. For this one you have to go through for your design you implemented or like that. So for design better the solution for common software or your data problems, the solutions that have emerged for years proven the customer your common problem or your common solution, you have to solve it to achieve the customer. For design better, you have a specific name for them. It's like for most of customers is sometimes using a retry better for his design. For design button also it's are not foolproof for architecture design with all details.
For just 60 cents.
Come again? Okay. So let me go through for design better for details and how to build your software and data to receive and achieve the customer what he wants for implementations. So when we talk about why is the desert better, design better, we have to build it that. It's the first initial discussion with CTO, and I engage with most of customers. He think about three things. For identity solution, it's like CAFTIS, on inspired design thinking, or the best practice for better software. So here we have most of questions you have to ask it during your meeting with customer, especially with your team members to be ready in presentation, or with customer in the meeting. So why is the design pattern useful? It's for customers. We not go through with design, we not go through with architect without to have to prepare that. So most of design pattern, it's to be documented. If you work with a software company and you engage with architect, you have to some software it's already have the pattern, but you have to go through and try to find achieve the software, and from architecture perspective, achieve the customer its design and high availability and backup and disaster recovery. So for inspired design thinking, design patterns can inspire you to design your applications. You are not always specifically for looking for a solution up to problem. You might be not even realize for something could be a problem, not use the solution for the design pattern. Also, for design pattern, it's are the result of years of thinking experiences are received template and best practice resolution to common a problem. Not just benefits for all experience what you want to going from the document. Let's jump here for why we use it for 5 parts of the disaster recovery plan. So if you already engage with disaster recovery plan, you might find some of some concept. You have to talk about it for RPO, RTO, personal, regulatory constraints, and the critical data. So for RPO, it's define how much data you are willing to lose, and you can give a higher priority for saving your cost critical data while being willing the most important data, such as maybe picture it's not important, or you have to be to talk with customer about that. So for RTO as well, it's how long you are willing to be without your data. Depends on your business. You might decide that you can lose up to 2 hours of your business applications. So because in this, when you architect that, it's very important to care about that, and you will coming through the next slides. For the personal, it's a common questions you have to ask it for customers. Who should get their data back personal? Who is supported the plan? Do you have a backup personal as well as the backup technology? It's very important. And if your plan documented for human interventions, so maybe access and you can call him anytime and he can available. So for regulation constraints, also you have to be asked customers, and you have to be presented for the business subject related constriction compliance. And we have a team, some of company have a team for all of the disaster recovery plan. And also for critical data, for which data is critical for customer and for your business, because it's different between bank sector or oil gas company or government. It's what else. So let's go there. Here, as you see the architecture, we have on-premise and we have on cloud. We're using here traffic managers and DNS routing. And we have, for example, ISVM and SQL Server, and you see here site recovery and blob storage. Also, we have, of course, virtual network. So for cloud solution can help you find a good balance between cost and the complexity to fill the requirement you have outlined in your plan. Here, for as you see, for Azure Site Recovery, you can easily create a disaster recovery. So if you go to the portal, you have created that by portal. If you talk about if your partners and you have for a small or and business medium or business company, you can protect all of IT measure system inexpensively by implementing disaster recovery to cloud using Azure Site Recovery. Also, if you site recovery can help you to meet your RTO and RPO. So this is why we talk about what does mean RTO and PR2 for requirements. So we can replicate between Azure regions, as you see in here in the slide, between Azure region to other regions or on-premise to another region. Also, for site recovery, provide continuous replication for Azure VM, and also if you have VMware, and you can affect it for latency and frequency. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I think your slides are not moving. Are you on still one slide?
No, as now in slide 4. What slide you see?
Yeah, now it's again goes to find a solution that fits your disaster.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, fine. Okay.
For find solution to fit your disaster recovery, yeah, I'm still here. I just try to explain the architecture for site recovery and traffic managers. I'm still here. Okay, can I continue?
Yeah.
Okay. So as we see here in the architecture, you can use site recovery on premise or between site to site. So finally, to finish this slide, the site recovery is integrated with Azure for simply application network management, included reserved IP or addressing configuration, load balance, as you see here in this slide for traffic manager and DNS routing. So we reach it for a good slide, which I like it actually. For scenario, you have to when you think about your solutions with a customer. So now we have this for single VM, for local redundancy, for zonal redundancy or regional redundancy. So most of us, I think, if it meet this case. So for single VM, to improve the availability for single VM by using premium ultra disk for quality availability SLA. So here it's 99% point time SLA, and we are using in this solution LRS. So, but we have to make sure to use ultra disk. So ultra disk, as you know, it's appropriate name for Microsoft. It's music new. It's for faster storage offering, and also if using ultra drivers before it's a high offering, more IOPS and low latency and other storage over inside Azure. So if you gonna work with, if you gonna compare, and if you go to Azure portal now and you decided for high IOPS, so I prefer to not use. If you compare between premium SSD storage or ultra disk, I think it's better solution for ultra disk. So because the ultra disk, it's good performance connections between VM and storage, and not like other storage. So we avoid its IPS. Let's go with in this solution. We gonna use LRS. For LRS, it's local synchronizations replication between 3 times. So if I see here for this slide, if you use LRS, so which mean you have 3 times with a single storage cluster in a single data center in the regions itself. So in this time, as mentioned here, it's 99% point time for SLA. If we go with another options for local redundancy, so here it's protect against failure with redundancy within a single data center. even hardware or software. So in this time or this solution, we're gonna use availability set. See, as you see here, for availability set, we have managed disk in availability set, and we'll give you 99.9495. And also we're gonna use LRS, we explain for we have 3 time replication or copy, copy for storage. So but we have to understand what is mean for availability set. So availability set, it's a kind of local group of VMs. It's allow you to understand how your applications its redundancy and achieve for availability. And actually Microsoft, it's recommended to be at least 2 or more VM are created within availability set to provide a highly available application. To achieve this is what mentioned for 99.95. Also availability set is make use for 2 key concept for as you know, for fault domain and update domain. It's at core and constraint for a rack. If you have each rack can be host any number of virtual machine. When you're creating high availability pairing, you want to make sure that is no single point of failure. The workload, it's provisioned by one of machine, it is other under. So if you have one VMs, it's not available, so VM will be available in the second rack. So let's go here with the slide it's showing right now.
Yes,
we can see.
Yeah. Okay, for the third option, as you see here, zone redundancy. So in this case, I think if you work with a big company or big solution, you might be face this one. I actually, from my side personal, I face it a lot of times, because it's it's protected for data center failures through single regions. So if you have a data center in UA, and you have 3 actually for availability zone, you have 3 availability zone with different network calling, everything. So if you have one VM here is failing, which means it will be find here in availability zone, and actually it's recommended to use it with also zone redundancy storage. So because zone redundancy storage is recognized replication data 3 times, cluster in single region. So if using in your solution, actually I use it a lot of times. It's very useful for the customer he looking to achieve for in the same region for availability and disaster recovery. So actually and also for ZR zone redundancy storage is to be recommended to using with this one, with the solution availability zone. Let's go with last one for regional redundancy. So in this time we have primary region and secondary region. So let's give example for UA North and UA Central. And you have some of VMs here and some VMs here, and we need to use Azure Disater Recovery. And as you know, yes, Azure Disater Recovery, it's most of cases we're gonna use because it's offered by Microsoft Azure as DR as a service, and it's a make sure to using ensure that the data enable to state after the failover and fill back to enable the customer to achieve his disaster recovery. So also for primary regions and for Azure Disater Recovery, you can using for as I mentioned with your between data center in UA North and UA near Central, or you can use it also between on-premise to your premium region. So you can use it with that. And also for benefits for RTO, it's matching, or it's a meet requirement for RBO and the RTO. It's very important when you design better for the disaster recovery. And also in this one, we're gonna use GRS, Azure Redundancy Storage replication. The data, it's the same region, but also to another region. First replication, 3 copy of data within the same region synchronously. But it's sometimes it's have drawback. It's like if disaster recovery occur in some data and there might be loss because the data replication to the other region as synchronously. So if the data center occur, there will be some delay of access until the Microsoft initiative fail over to second region. As you see here, as I mentioned, we have LRS here, and we have 3 copy of your data in the same region for storage cluster. And here, if you have availability zone with big customers, availability zone 1, availability zone 3, and you have 3 availability zones, so we have copy 1 here, and copy 2 here, and copy 3, to have 3 copy for your data in ZRS. So let's talk here, just you can make like activity for architectures and how we think for availability and how we think for the customer. Here, if you need, when you talk with the customer, it's very important for availability, because when you work with oil gas company and he make sure you need, if this data center it's failed, what time will be required to be the second data center will be available. So it's very important for this because it will be impacting for the cost. So do you need availability for 99.9%? So if no, خلاص you go single VM. So if yes, so your second question would be might be, do you want data center availability? So this one, it will be which mean you understand, have availability zone, you have DR with storage, we'll use it because the questions or the answers the customer will coming, you will build on your architectures. So in this one, yes, or can no, I don't want high availability data center. So the second question or third question, do you need ultra low 1 millisecond for network latency? Actually, no need for this one. So this one will go with availability set. So if again the question, do you need availability zone for 99%? Oh, okay. So you need a high availability for data center. Yes. This no also. So if this time we'll go for BBGM for proximity placement group. So I think if someone uses proximity group, it's actually for latency. For network, using usually with application, like it's practically when you have application and you have work with application, it's a less or sensitive workload. You can work with less for network latency between all VMs. So on also this architecture, if you gonna use it high availability data center, so which mean you're gonna use it availability zone. And also, if you need with network latency, so you can use 3 options: proximity placement group and availability set within availability zone. You can use 3 options together with optimum. So here for train, it's very important slide or topic, because once you have plan in place, you will need to train all personnel or all employee you have. So you will increase your chance of success when you upper management introduce the plan and you promote training for all employee. Because when you communicate with your employee and your training, and you have the disaster recovery plan, you have to work and to test this plan in 3 times. It's by recommended, because I see a lot of, for my side, I see a lot of companies have plan, have documented, have everything, but it's not tried before, and you not tried test and fill back, and not tried anyone from this one. So it's very important for work on training for employee. What's mean for design patron for disaster recovery, and you have to work it on to encourage employee to understand what is technology and what is a lot of options we have. And also from testing, it's very important for to test your resource and feedback and fill data. Actually, I'm finished. So if anyone have questions, I'm happy to answer. Let me see here. Okay.
Yes, Saad, thank you so much for coming on short notice and for your session. And you really give us very good insights and for better understanding.
So let me just answer for questions. It's coming by my LinkedIn for someone. He asked it for Azure Disater Recovery. It's understand or understands the data. It's replicated. To answer those questions, not Disater Recovery. It's just as a technology. It's not understand what is information or what is data to replicate it for other site. If using with on-premise or between data center, it's not he not care about the data. And already it's like have ISO for 2701, so it's not as a tools. It's not understand the data or retrieve the data. Okay, thank you, Abdullah, and thank you for everyone who listened my sessions. And I hope everyone, if you need to reach me.
Sad, one question. Hello,
Yes.
Sad, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, we have next session with Thomas, but for you that we should need to understand. This is my question. Can we need to understand that which type of data recovery or we need to do the site recovery? Because if someone do this site recovery from on-prem Microsoft Exchange server, which is I think not recommended, what you can suggest in this case?
Again, I'm not understand these questions. Again, come again.
I mean to say for the site recovery, can we need to check that the application perspective, is it fine or not? Like in case of Exchange server on premises, if we want to make a backup of servers, so can we use Azure Site Recovery?
I think most of cases, yes, we can use asset recovery, but we have to check which applications based off you have a SQL server or you have Oracle or because some of recommendation to use it site recovery, but you have to work on the network latency. Because in the application side, it's very important for software engineer or software implementations for latency. We can do it the replications, or we can do it the failback and failover and the failback, but it's very important for latency, how to work in latency between when the second regions come back, the customer, the user experience, he get it the same experience. So you have to care about which VPN use it, or express route, or using another solutions. So for your questions, yes, we can use it, but we have to care also dependency for Azure Site Recovery for network latency perspective.
Thanks, Saad, for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
We also have Microsoft Exchange expert next. Thomas will check with them this question in QA session for them. Thank you so much, Thomas.
Thank you.
Saad, and we invite our next speaker, Thomas. Thank you for giving time.
Thank you, Thomas.
I love the Exchange, and I am also working primarily on Exchange, so it's good to do with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Abdallah.
Yeah, thank you.